What is going on? This is episode 191 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, on this NPC mini. No player 2, just me today. All right, and it's gonna be. We got some fun stuff to talk about, and I got quite a bit to. I got a lot of different feedback from you guys to read on this episode, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. Before we get started, if you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, you can go to audibletrial.com/npc. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. Seat. I had somebody message me today and they thought it was OPC. It's OP Seat, right? Like overpowered seat. n64josh.com/OP Seat. Their spring sale just started. Again, chairs are 20 off and free shipping. Plus, you save 10 if you use that link. Okay, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. All right, patreon.com/N64Josh is where you can help support my content if you are interested. And if you'd like to get my book, n64josh.com/anothercastle. The first chapter is available for free at that link. It's also available in audio form if you would like to listen to it. With that, we're going to get to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
All right, so n64josh.com/calendar has all the info that you guys need. I will be updating that regularly. I assume there's a way you can link it to your phone. I know somebody was asking, I think Plumber was asking about that. I assume that's okay. I'll make sure, I'll go in and check any back-end settings if I need to, but I think that should be something that you can link right to your devices so you don't have to constantly go to the website. Few things worth noting. Pitrate is saying, yes, you can import it, so there you go. A few things worth noting, okay, is we do a Mario Kart tournament every Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's the case. All right. So the way it works, we jump into a room together. The best thing to do is to jump into my stream, and then I say, okay, everybody join, and then we all join at once. That happens at 11. After Mario Kart, I'll be doing first looks. This week, we're going to be looking at Rico, Blaster Master, Turok, and maybe a couple others. All right. So there was there's a few games to check out, and maybe even Unraveled 2. So I'm thinking that. And if you guys want to see a quick, if you haven't seen any Turok yet, I've tweeted out last night, and it runs very smooth, very smooth. So I actually kind of lost myself in it a little bit last night. So anyway, more about that later. That's going to do it as far as announcements. Again, check the calendar for all the stream times, everything like that. I do want to mention we played Mario Maker last night on stream, and I did not realize how sick and twisted I am, but I'm so excited for Mario Maker 2. I cannot wait to have you guys play my levels, create levels with you, and be able to play your levels. So it was quite fun. Quite a bit of fun. And that happens on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's Mario Maker streams. So it was good. I had a great time. So with that, I'm going to talk about some of the stuff I've played. We're going to talk about some indies, basically. All right. Well, over the weekend, I got a handful of first looks up. Chat is saying that I'm definitely evil, so that's good. Mission accomplished. But I did a handful of first looks. Okay, so we looked at Dusty, the Raging Fist, which was like a 2D brawler, kind of like Bad Dudes way back in the day, and it was actually pretty solid. So that's definitely one worth checking out. Awesome P was another one. Looks like a Game Boy title. Also pretty fun. Was pretty impressed with that one. Another one that's not available yet, but it's coming soon. I think it's coming out next week, is Neon Caves. And I believe the developer is actually going to join me. We're going to do an interview and talk about the creation of this game. at first I was kind of confused and didn't love the way this game controlled, but after I got used to it, I really, really enjoyed it. Instead, it's kind of like a twin stick shooter, kind of, except you move your ship by shooting your gun. That's how you propel yourself. But then you can lock your ship in place and then just spin and shoot for a short period of time. And so you're going for a high score. There was leaderboards, things like that. So I was able to give a couple copies away during the first look because the dev was kind enough to give me a couple to do that. And so that's when I would say keep an eye out for. And I believe if I remember correctly from the email that this game originated on the Ouya, if you guys remember that system. So fun little story. I bought an Ouya at Value Village for $7.99. And yeah, so there you go. Found an Ouya at Value Village back in the day, which was kind of weird. But hey, we did. And then let's see, what else did we play here? Paper-bound Brawlers. So Paper-bound Brawlers is kind of like, it's almost like Towerfall meets Mario Galaxy in a way. So instead of jumping, what you do is you press the gravity button, which I believe was Y. And what happens if you're standing on the ground and there's like a surface above you, you hit Y and you flip, and now you can walk around that surface. And some of the surfaces may be round, they may be a square, they may be a triangle, things like that. Okay, you have like scissors, an inkwell, and then a pencil that you have as a melee weapon. Okay, so you can swing your pencil as a melee weapon, you can throw the scissors, and you can throw the inkwell. The scissors will stick into the wall if you miss, and then you can pick them back up. And so everybody has one pair of scissors, one inkwell, and then a pencil. And so the way the game plays out is it just, I believe it's up to 4 players, and you just try to take each other out, right? And so it's quite enjoyable. Here's I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here, just a little bit, but I'm not positive, but I think the developer was actually in my stream while I was playing this, and the question comes up that always comes up with games like this is this game online, right? And the moment you say that it isn't, you can see negative comments coming in. Not necessarily like bad comments, but I mean, there's disappointment, right? Because you see a game that looks fun. It looks like the multiplayer is going to be, the multiplayer seems like it would be really fun. But then when the multiplayer aspect of it is or the online multiplayer aspect is missing, it can immediately turn people off. And so, again, I'm not positive that it was the developer, but as we were talking about it, a name I didn't recognize in my chat said, we would need or I can't remember exactly what they said, but it was along the lines of like, that takes investors. Would you be interested? Right. And then I didn't see anything else. There was nothing else. And so what it did is it kind of opened my eyes to something. And that's what I want to share with you guys, is that like a lot of times as gamers, as the consumer, we assume, well, I don't know what everybody assumes, but I kind of just assume like, I didn't think a lot of it. I would usually just think, oh, they didn't throw online in, as if it was just something that just gets like tossed in, like it's no big deal. Right. Well, the reality of it is like, and the only reason I've kind of learned about this stuff is from that book, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, where like the developer for Stardew Valley, when it came to the online for that game, he eventually gave it over to someone else because it is extremely tedious. It is very time consuming, and you're going to work at it for a really long time, which that also costs money. Right. And so because of that, like I know as the consumer, we want the online multiplayer because it adds greater replay value. But I think for me, it just kind of opened my eyes to the fact that like, no, nobody's holding this out because they don't want us to have it. I think what it really boils down to is just the cost factor, right? Like some of these indie devs are very, very small teams, sometimes just one person. And in order to get through all that netcode and everything, it may not even be a feasible task, right? And so for me, it just kind of opened my eyes to that fact that it was like, before I start spewing like negativity or talking poorly about a game like this, this could be somebody's, this is somebody's baby that I would assume would want to have online multiplayer, but due to financial restraints, can't, right? And so that being said, if you have somebody to play this game with, paper-bound brawlers, what we're talking about, it's fun. It's enjoyable. I only played against the computer, and I was having a good time. But just like Towerfall, I could see this game getting pretty intense, especially once you get the controls down and things like that, because there's a little bit of a learning curve there. It was pretty cool. So I don't know, just a little food for thought there as we think about games and talk about games, because it's easy to kind of just dismiss certain games because it doesn't have online. Well, there's probably some story behind that, right? Or some reasoning behind that. It's not just laziness or wanting to keep content away from us or something like that. It boils down to what they are able to do. So just something to think about. The last game we checked out was Unit 4, which is also pretty enjoyable. What it is, you're playing as 4 different characters that you can swap between, and they all have different powers, and you have to use them to solve different puzzles and get through the stages. You can kind of pick the way you do it. You're not necessarily like, it's not like one puzzle has to be solved this way. There may be multiple ways of going about it. And so this is a side scroller, pixel art graphics. Music was pretty good from what I remember, and I enjoyed what I played for the short time I had with it. So again, all of those can be found youtube.com/n64josh, and if you want to see some of the gameplay before you make a purchase, go check them out. So and Pit Rate from the chat is asking, do you think that eventually we might see that netcode handled by the console? Well, we just saw Stadia or whatever from Google, right? And I'm wondering if there's not going to be tools that they can implement that will make some of this stuff easier. I don't know. And again, we don't know how accessible that's going to be for everybody. We don't know the price. We don't really know anything. So we have a lot to learn about that still. But it seemed like their goal anyway, as they were talking, is that they wanted to make game development easier and quicker and more streamlined. It's kind of the vibe I got anyway. So that is that. We're going to move on over to the news. So speaking of Stadia, I'm not even sure how to say it. Stadia, I think. I don't remember. Nintendo and Sony stocks, they took a hit after the announcement. And so, I don't know that it's something to worry about. Stadia is the correct pronunciation. Thank you so much, Delmonic. I could see a lot of people looking at this and going, it's the future. And then, they don't really have a good, understanding of the gaming market. They're just in it on the money side. And, so they're like, abandon ship, I don't think we're at that point yet, personally. I think this is going to be a cool technology, but I think we have a long ways to go before it's going to start putting anybody out of business. It's got a ways still. It's got to mature. That is for sure. So, Also, speaking of, more cloud gaming and things of that nature, Xbox has been announcing things at GDC. Okay, a couple things worth noting. I don't have this in my notes, but I was tweeting about it yesterday during their presentation. They had up on their, like, they had displayed like a game. It was something like Rainbow Unicorn or something like this. I don't know. That's not important, but it showed a leaderboard, and the number one spot on that leaderboard was Mr. Switch, and number two was Mr. Xbox One. And so it's still just, it's kind of cool to see how Microsoft and Xbox are working together. Okay, what they did say is that, and this is a quote here from that presentation. It says, no plans, this is Microsoft, no plans for Xbox Live SDK for Switch right now, but expect more games like Cuphead to come to the Switch with Live enabled over the next year. So what does that mean, right? What does that little quote mean? More games like Cuphead. So does that mean we plan on seeing more indie titles that are exclusive to Xbox over on the Switch? Well, we kind of already know that is the case. We know that is happening. Do we see, like, I mean, I've been like, look, I even had I had some interesting conversations on Twitter about this, but like, I want to see the Halo games, right? I've mentioned this numerous times. I want to see Halo titles on the Switch. And we have Minecraft already. We have Minecraft story mode, so there's already a couple games. We know Cuphead is coming. We know Ori is coming, right? And so what does that mean? Like, more games like Cuphead. What does that mean? I don't know. So I'm hoping, obviously, like I said, for Halo. I want, even if it was just Halo 1, just to be able to play Halo online on my Switch on the go. So sold. I played Turok, right, from the 64. I'm like, I love the classic shooters. I really do. I enjoy them quite a bit. And so I'm ready. All right. Let's jump into, before we go any further, and Crawler brings it up, I had this question asked, like, as soon as I tweeted out and put on Instagram that Cuphead was coming, I had a lot of people asking me if it was getting a physical edition, and I didn't know, right? And so there was some information that came out yesterday that said they are working on a physical, but there's not a date for when it's going to be out. So if you want this game day one, April 18th, then you're going to have to plan on double dipping, right? That's just the nature of it. Now, if they're waiting for, and I believe they said they were waiting for, like, I don't know, something like till after the last DLC is out. So we don't know when that is. And if Minecraft is any indicator about how long this is going to take, it was well over a year. It was well over a year before the physical version of Minecraft made it to the Switch. Because I remember it was supposed to be out in like summer, and it was close to the next summer that I finally got the physical. I was like, or after, it was like, why is this taking so long? But they were working on updates and different things like of that nature. It was one of the major updates for Minecraft. Remember when Nintendo and Xbox had that commercial? The game shortly came out after that. So the whole better together, right? So it could be a while before we see a physical. So I'm planning on double dipping, right? And actually triple dipping, because I already have it on the Xbox, but I want to make sure that I can, we are going to play completely through Cuphead once it hits Switch. So, I don't want to wait. We're gonna go all the way through it, and it's so much fun. It's so fun. You guys are in for such a treat, but I just hope everybody is prepared for how difficult it is. So it can be brutal. I mean, so brutal, in fact, that some media outlets were like, Cuphead's too hard and they should add a skip boss feature so you don't have to fight the bosses. And it's like, come on, just get good, get good. It's part of the fun. It's part of the challenge, but it can be difficult. So just be aware of that. Let's see here. Plumber says, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Cuphead Physical will be here before Metroid Prime 4 is released. Probably. So, all right, we're going to just kind of go through. I'm going to go through the Nindies showcase. Some of these games, I'll just be upfront with you guys. This was on while I was at work, and so I was watching as much as I could, the best I could. Some of these games, I know them by name alone and heard them talking about it, but I don't know what some of the gameplay is and whatnot. But we're just going to go through the list. The first thing we saw was Cuphead. Now, I don't know about you guys, but and here's what was weird is, like, I think my stream was behind. I was hosting it, and I could see people typing in chat, and so I think I was actually like a minute behind or 30 seconds behind. And so the thing is, I'm like saying, I think it's Cuphead, right? I'm typing that, and then everybody's like, it's Cuphead, and I'm like, how do they know this already, right? Well, I realized I was lagging. But if you guys saw this thing, the way this starts, or if you didn't see it, the way it started, it was like black and white, like a guy in a suit sitting at a table talking about like drinking milk instead of coffee. And so I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit confused here. And then he puts on a mask and he says that this is like a splash guard or something. And then he pours the milk and out pop Cuphead and Mugman. And so when he put that mask on, though, I was like, are we getting We Happy Few on the Switch? Now, both those games came out at they were both announced, I believe, at like E3 like 2016, I believe that was the case. And Xbox now owns the studio that We Happy Few was made by, from my understanding. That I'm pretty sure they acquired him, because there was a lot of controversy around like, oh, is We Happy Few still going to come to PS4? And it did. So Compulsion Games, yeah, and they acquired them last E3. That's what they announced. So there you go. So that was like, I was just doing a little bit of research just this last couple of days, just trying to figure out like, okay, what's the deal? So it's technically an Xbox game. So there's a chance it's games like Cuphead, We Happy Few. I don't know that it was all that well received. I met those devs at that E3, really cool people, like great people. So who knows? That could be another title, and it's a weird title. It's very strange, very strange. So I don't know. It may. I mean, the other thing that and Ted said he's hoping for Ori. We know we have the one coming out, but yeah, it'd be nice to get the first one as well. The other thing that was announced at GDC is an Xbox that has no spot for a disc. It's strictly digital. So that's interesting that they're taking the plunge, right, and removing themselves from retail and focusing on their Game Pass and this xCloud. And so the future may be here sooner than we think. So interesting stuff, that's for sure. So Cuphead was shown off, amazing, great game. Like we were saying, there is a physical version coming, but we don't know when. I really, really enjoy this game. You guys, the music, the sounds, the artwork, everything about it is just, it's, in my mind, it's one of those games that's a masterpiece. Even though it's difficult, I like the difficulty. I like the challenge, personally. The next game they showed was Overland, and that was like I believe it was like a post-apocalyptic, kind of a like a 3/4 down. I didn't really catch a lot of this one, but it looked like it could be cool. I need to look into it a little bit more. The next thing they showed though was My Friend Pedro, and my word, like this game already looked over the top and crazy, but then you see like they pulled out all the stops with this. You see him on a motorcycle, and it looks rad. That's what Delmonic from chat saying. It definitely looks rad. So Crawler's saying that's going to be so much fun. Yeah, it really looked good. The next up was Neo Cab, which was kind of interesting. Looked like a futuristic, almost like cyberpunk kind of stuff. Papa Laser's saying Overland was kind of like an indie version of XCOM. So there you go. Yeah, Neo Cab looked like it was very story driven from what they showed off. Red Lantern. This one was kind of piqued my interest. I own a Husky, right? Some of you guys have seen my Instagram and stuff. You've seen, or if you're in the Discord, you've seen Bailey, my Husky. And so I'm watching this Red Lantern, and it's like there's some like deep story elements going on. This person's talking about how they're a disappointment, and they're trying to get away from everything, and they go to Alaska and they do the Iditarod, and I believe they said it was like a somewhat of a rogue like, but I mean, you're first person, you're standing on the sled, and the dogs are pulling you, and then it shows a dog getting eaten by a bear, and it was just like, wow, this is intense. So roguelite. I'm not real sure exactly what the I think stuff's kind of like procedurally generated as you're going through, so not everybody's gonna be playing the same game. Again, not a ton of details. It looked very good though. The graphics were pretty good, and you can see like northern lights and things like that. So, and sometimes they were kind of running through the night, and you just have a little like a flashlight for your light. That's when the bear jumped out, and yeah, it was bonkers. So next up was Darkwood, which that one I don't think I actually saw any of that one. Katana Zero looked pretty crazy. It was like a classic arcade style, but you could kind of like, they talk about how she could see the future, things like that. It looked good to me. It looked like the style game I would like. Next up was a game called Rad, which was like so many different, like the art was pretty crazy. The gameplay kind of looked unique. Like, again, I was kind of watching on the go, so I didn't catch a lot of it, but from what I caught, it piqued my interest, and I want to look into it a little bit more. Next up was Creature in the Well, which I believe this one was, it's kind of set in like ancient Egypt, from my understanding, and maybe chat can chime in to make sure I'm correct here, but I believe they were referring to this as a pinball adventure. And so some of the things I saw like were, giant creatures climbing up, and you're trying to hit the like different pinballs around the place, and it was I was intrigued anyway. Again, still want to know more. Like we got a lot of previews. It was almost 25 minutes, or almost a half hour worth of content. So, and it was about 23 minutes of just new games, and then they finished up with the Nindies sales. So next up was Bloodroots, which that one I didn't see much of. Pine looked interesting. It was kind of like Demonic in chat is saying, like he was excited for Pine, but the more they showed, the more unpolished it looked. So, and actually, I believe Bloodroots it had to do with I think you were playing as some guy that had like it looked like he was wearing a wolf skin or something like that. So, but I didn't really catch what the game was about. The Super Crate Box was up next, and that one I didn't see. Nuclear Throne I didn't see much about. Ultra Bugs I didn't see much about. Swim Sanity I watched a little bit of, which was kind of cool. Like they were like, hey, we've done stuff in space, and things like that. Pit Race saying Bloodroots, you use the environment as your weapons. So there you go. Find a fish, hit him with a fish. Interesting. So moving right along, this is, and again, like some of these games, like I'm like, oh yeah, cool, right? Like Rad was interesting. Katana Zero, I'm like, yeah, let's definitely check that one out. Red Lantern, I was intrigued by. My Friend Pedro, like, yeah, of course, that's a must for me. Cuphead, absolutely a must. Blaster Master Zero, yeah, I'm definitely on board. I picked it up. We'll be checking it out. I have the first one. These are like sequels to NES games, right? They 8-bit graphics with a modern twist, that kind of stuff. Love it. So they showed Blaster Master Zero, and then it was available now, right? That was the big deal. So cool. Right on. I'm with you. Next up was the Stranger Things, the game, and then. And I believe that was just I believe it's a mobile port. I didn't look into it, but maybe somebody in chat can confirm. But I believe it's a game that's out on iOS already. It could be something completely different, but I think that is the case. But it is launching the same day as Season 3 of the game. So, and again, that one is 2-player. Couch co-op, I believe is what they said. Funny thing is, I told my daughter that, hey, there's Stranger Things game coming out. She's like, I want to Switch. I was like, what? All the other games, and this is the game that you want to? Yep, I want to Switch. Okay, all right. So apparently, Stranger Things 3, the game, is a console mover in my house. So, next up they showed the Nindy sales, and then they followed by Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necro Dancer. And so what was strange about this one is, like, as I was watching it, even before, like, I was just kind of watching, she was attacking like some slimes and things like that. I'm like, man, this has Zelda vibe, big time, right? I was already thinking that before you could, the music kicked in, and then the music kicked in, and I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, this is interesting, right? Like, I guess technically we're seeing two Zelda games this year, which I think we've heard rumors about, right? And it, like, Papa Lasers from chat, like, I'm totally sold on it already. Delmonic, the Cadence of Hyrule trailer, so much hype, right? It's so funny that, like, we see these beloved characters in other games, and it's like, yeah, I'm good. Star Fox being in Starlink, sold. I'm checking it out, right? Even this just happened to me last weekend. The Mario Day Pocket Camp stuff, where you're catching cheeps and things like that. I'm on board now. I'm playing Pocket Camp again, and so I love seeing this, and I'm going to look into, for next week's show, we're gonna talk about, like, I saw some articles and things out there about how this developer was able to get Zelda IP and things like that, because this is Nintendo's baby, right? So talk about a dream come true for this developer. And, Pit Rate saying, I hope it does well. And same. Looking at some of the gameplay that they showed off, it looked pretty cool. It looked fairly unique and kind of like updated, link to the past graphics, whatnot. That's kind of what I took away from it. So overall, I was impressed with that one, and the artwork of it I really, really liked. Some of just the pictures they showed, where they showed Link and Zelda together. Like, I was really digging it. So overall, I thought the direct the showcase was good, right? And I thought they showed a good variety of games that hopefully there's something for everybody there, right? Because I'm okay with not every game being for me. That's fine, as long as there's something there for somebody that they're gonna be able to enjoy. I think that's great. And so, like Stranger Things 3, the game, other than, I'll get it so I can play it with my daughter. Otherwise, that's not something that would really interest me, right? but that's okay because there's probably a younger generation that, like my daughter, is like, yes, I want that game right now. I want to be able to play as 11, you know, and that was what she was saying because she's 11. So she's like, I get to play as 11. I'm like, of course you do, you know, like I'm not going to stop you. So again, not necessarily a game for me, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. So I put this question into a post today. This is how we're, I want to be able to involve you guys more with the shows. And so best thing to do, whether you're following me on Twitter or you're in the Discord, I'll tag everyone when these posts go live so that I can hear from you guys. And so here I go. I'm going to open up the comments. But basically, I just wanted to know, what'd you guys think? What did you guys think of the Nindies showcase? And so this is from Roundy. It says, Cuphead is a game I've always wanted to play, so I can't wait till next month. Really like the look of a few. Rad was probably the standout for me, so I'm looking forward to finding out more about it. Enjoying the new podcast format. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Roundy. Appreciate it. This is from Delmonic. It says, I thought the showcase was great. It was well paced for a 30-minute direct, and they covered a wide selection of genres. Cuphead and Cadence of Hyrule were definitely the standouts for me, and a great way to open and close the show. Pine looks interesting as well, but it looks like it needs a lot of polishing up from what they showed off. Still waiting for a hat in time as well. Yeah, and we saw a few. There's a few different things like that, so we'll keep on going here. This is from Keyblader, 1723. It says, I honestly was not expecting a lot from the Nindies show, but I really enjoyed it and was surprised overall. I know Cuphead had been rumored, but I was filled with a sense of joy hearing it confirmed. Another game that stuck out to me was Rad, so there's another one for Rad, just because it looks completely ridiculous and fun. And of course, the last noteworthy surprise was at the end, the Zelda mashup. Can't remember the official name. As soon as I heard the iconic Zelda music start playing, I got chills. Love it. Love it. This is from Hockey Broke You. It says, it was about what I expected. Nothing super exciting for me, but any announcements are better than none. I was particularly surprised to see My Friend Pedro is coming in June, and that Cadence of Hyrule was announced. I was also a little let down that we didn't hear anything about Untitled Goose Game, especially after seeing the gameplay footage from GDC. This is my most hyped indie game of 2019. So guys, I was tweeting with Hate Zero on Wednesday morning, and he's like, if I don't get some news about Goose Game, it's over. And I'm like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And literally geese flew over my head as I was tweeting. I'm like, bro, geese just flew over. It's a good sign. It wasn't a good sign. We saw nothing. So Crawler is saying delayed. It might not come out this year. But I know a lot of people are wanting this game. They're wanting to just be a jerk goose, and I get it. Like, Hate kind of sold me on it. He's like, look at this stupid human on the screen with him. Right. So, and you can probably goose them and they'll drop whatever they're doing. And he goes, I can't wait. So he's really looking forward to this one, but, we're going to keep going here, and let's see. This is from Colt. It says, I think this Nindy has been the best one yet and definitely delivered. Not just the amount of games, but the quality of every single game, as well as support from Nintendo to allow use of their own characters. I already have 5 games picked out. I will be picking up the first chance I can. All right. So everybody seems pretty hyped, pretty excited overall. One thing that I want to kind of point out that I've picked up on from Nintendo over the past couple announcements, whether they be like the directs or the showcase, we don't seem to be getting anything like, if something was announced, there doesn't seem to be a lot of news behind it. Like, everybody was kind of really hoping for Animal Crossing news. We got zero. There was zero, but they had already announced it, and so it had already been in a direct. And so I kind of feel like I'm kind of wondering if we aren't seeing a little bit of a pattern here. It's like, no, we're not going to see, because other people wanted to see Killer Queen Black, including myself. mostly just a date, right? And that's the same for this Goose Game. We just want a date. But unless they do something where it's like they just kind of show like the quick updates, like, you know, and they've done that in different directs and stuff, where it's like almost like a lightning round, right? Without doing something like that, I feel like we're not getting much as far as games that is like, hey, this has been in a direct already. We're not showing it again. Right? We're not, and unless it's something major where it gets its own direct, like, I mean, Smash, right? Smash got it got its announcement, but then it got its own specific direct, and then even more news. But it was a big title, right? But so far this year, I feel like what we're seeing is like we're not seeing a lot of stuff being rehashed or shown a second time. Like they're not wasting. I don't know that wasting that time is the best way to put it, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying. It's like, okay, the direct is for new stuff, the showcase is for new stuff, and E3 is the time where we're going to show you a bunch of new stuff, and then we're going to jump into the treehouse and give you updates on things that you're wanting, or give you like a deeper dive into things like that. And so I feel like E3 is just going to be so hype this year, so hype. And I'm fingers crossed, fam. I'm trying to go. I'm going to try to go this year. I was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, I'm like, I don't know, what do you want me to do? She's like, well, it's going to be Animal Crossing, so you got to get Animal Crossing swag for me. I was like, okay, that'll work. That'll work. And speaking of Animal Crossing, I don't know if you guys caught it in the last episode, but her and I are starting an Animal Crossing podcast. So N64 Jen will be joining me for probably a weekly podcast. We're still just trying to get all the details worked out, but I am pretty excited about the first episode. I'll give you guys a little little spoiler, but the first episode is going to be called "What is Animal Crossing?" Because I feel like I get this question often. People want to know, like, what is this game? Why do people like it so much? And so that's what the first episode is going to be about, is just what this game is and what the draw is. And so it's going to be pretty conversation focused, not necessarily like news focused like this, but more just kind of like probably broken down into 3 different segments. And so I'm excited. So hopefully the next couple of weeks we will be launching. So that's the goal anyway. There might even be episodes recorded this weekend, so we'll see. But with that, we're going to move on over into the sales. I thought this was going to be a quick one, and we're already at 43 minutes. So, you know, apparently I like to talk. So we're going to move. Let's see. I don't even think we're going to go to the sales first. We're going to go to the downloads. Let's go to the downloads. All right. So this is the Nintendo download 21st of March, North America. Now, from what we've been able to find, Nightcrawler did a little bit of research and a little bit of investigating for me, and from what I can find, we aren't getting a retail release of Unravel 2, although it shows up in this PR statement from Nintendo. It says Unravel 2 is going to be at Switch retail, but I think that's only in Europe. Okay, so that's worth it. If you guys find it, tweet at me, right? If you guys see something, somebody knows something, please let me know, because I would love to get this game physical, but more than likely I'm just going to end up picking up the digital copy so that we can show it off on stream. You guys can see it and see if it's for you. All right. Next up, as far as Switch retail, we have I think it's Nelky and the Legendary Alchemist. Outliers of the New World. This is Koei Temco America. It's coming out on Tuesday, 26th. Okay. The Princess Guild is coming out Tuesday as well. And Xenon Racer is also Tuesday. So Unravel 2 will be out tomorrow, and maybe even tonight at 9, possibly. It just depends on when they hit the go live button on it. So should be available in the eShop though. Okay, you have, let's see, Final Fantasy VII next Tuesday. We're getting close. Blaster Master Zero 2 is out already. I picked it up. I haven't played it yet though. I was seeing some tweets from Mel of some gameplay, and looks pretty good. Nuclear Throne was out yesterday. Air Conflicts Pacific Carriers is out the 26th of March. Air Conflicts Secret Wars also the 26th. Alien Cruise is out. Apocryph, an old school shooter, is out. Arcade Archives Elevator Action. I looked at this last night. This is from Taito from 1983. Okay. As a spy, your goal is to infiltrate the building and escape with all the confidential documents. Assault on Metaltron. What a name. Love it. That was available yesterday. Okay. Azure Saga Pathfinder Deluxe Edition out today, $9.99. Bargain Hunter was out on the 15th. Block of Pix Deluxe out today. Galaxy The Void Deluxe Edition coming Tuesday the 26th. Gems of War is also the 26th. A lot of games on the 26th. Hope everybody's wallets are ready. Grand Prix Story is out today for $12. Hook. It says it's a relaxing minimal puzzle game that has been out since the 14th. Inventioneers is Monday 25th. Okay. Neon Caves is Wednesday the 27th. That's the one I mentioned earlier, and it's $3.99. That's a pretty good price for that game. I would suggest checking it out. OMG Zombies, also the 26th. Man, so many games that day. Peasant Night is coming tomorrow. Reptilian Rebellion is out today. Roguebit out today. Star Drone out today. So many games. Super Phantom Cat Remake out today. Sushi Time coming out tomorrow. Windscape out the 27th. It's Wednesday. Witch and Hero is out today. The 3DS eShop got Horror Stories out today. And then the Wii U eShop got Pixel Maker Studio. And that is out today. So, one other thing worth noting here, if you haven't picked up, Splatoon 2 yet, there's a deal going on. So Splatoon 2 Ink Credible, 20% discount. Take your ink splatting skills to the next level with an Ink Credible offer. Starting March 19th at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to March 28th, you can save 20% on the digital version of Splatoon 2 for the Nintendo Switch when you purchase through Nintendo.com or Nintendo eShop on your device. 20%. You can save 20% on the digital version, which is, they don't usually have sales on you don't see these games go on sale often, so worth noting there. Let's see. When you purchase through Nintendo.com or Nintendo eShop on your device, to battle it out or cooperate with other players online, you can purchase a Nintendo Switch Online membership separately, or Splatoon 2 plus Nintendo Switch Online individual membership. And so I was noticing they have this up on the eShop. You can kind of just buy a you can kind of buy a bundle from what it looked like anyway. So there you go. Save 20% on digital. And speaking of sales, let's jump over to them right now. All right. So our sales for this week, and again, guys, I'm not going to go through each one because I'm fairly certain there's 243 games on sale right now. So we're not touching on every game. But Splatoon 2 is $47.99 digitally if you want to pick it up. Okay. A few of the games that I mentioned, they have some early like pre-release pricing. Okay, like Galaxy is one. OMG Zombies you can get for $1.24. Regularly $4.99 when it releases next week. Okay. Sushi Time's also got a pre-release sale. Okay, Unit 4, which is the game I just played, it's already half off. It came out last week. It's already half off at $7.49. So there you go. Cinders is $2 off right now. If you guys need a good laugh, check out my Cinders first look where I do the voice of every character. It was a good time. Moving right on here, I'm just trying to find the games that that I have played or that I can tell you a little bit about if they're worth checking out. But like I said, there's 243 games on sale. Guys, I have this link in the show notes. You can also go to nintendo.com and look for the game sales there, look for the deals. So if you're wanting to see all of these, and just on your Switch is the other place you can go. You can go on your Switch, fire up the eShop, and just go through and see what's on sale. But worth mentioning is Firewatch. Okay, that's down to $15.99. I hear really good things about that. Guacamelee 2 is $13.99. Okay, Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek is $19.99. If you're needing Santa Tracker, you want to be able to track Santa, it's down to 99 cents. So there you go. Horizon Chase Turbo, $13.99. I have a first look of that one. That's a pretty fun game. It feels like a predecessor to Rad Racer, if you played that on the NES back in the day. Moving right along here, let's see, what do we got? Moonlighter, which is one I haven't tried, but I saw a lot of people really enjoying, is $16.74, down from $24.99. So if that's on your wish list, make sure you snag that, get the deal there. Looks like we got This Is the Police is down $20.09, down from $29.99. Okay, I'm just gonna keep on scrolling here. Video Kid is half off, $2.49. Don't pass up on that game. $2.49 is a great deal. So let's see here. We're going to continue right on. We got Salt and Sanctuary is $12.59. What else do we see here? Just kind of cruising through. Miles and Kilos down to $5.99. That one was fun. Rumbo is half off, $7.49. Let's see. Moving right along. De Blob is $11.99, down from $29.99. Inside, which Mr. Super Nintendo, Mr. October says, make sure to play Inside. He bought it for me when it came out. And I played all the way through it. I really couldn't stop. Like, I just played all the way through to the end. It's good. It's fun. $13.99 is a great price for that game. Scrolling through here, Yoku's Island Express is $9.99. That game's fun. That's a good one. And there's a demo available for that if you want to be able to check it out. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is $6.99, down from $9.99. Also good. Battle Chasers Night War is $23.99. The game is gorgeous. If you're looking for an RPG, it's definitely worth checking out. Okay. So many games. It's crazy. It's crazy. Wizard of Legend, that's a good one. It's a roguelite. Definitely worth checking out. Garage is pretty cool. It's $7.49. Raging Justice is $9 off right now. That looked like a kind of a classic arcade beat 'em up. I heard a little bit mixed reviews on it, so maybe watch some videos, make sure it's for you. Rogue Aces is pretty fun. Kind of one of those pick up and play for a short period of time games. You got 2 or 3 minutes to kill. That's the game to snag right there. Looking through, I haven't played it, but Flint Hook is on sale. Okay. Still just cruising on through here. Looks, so many. Like I said, 243 titles. Lost Sphere is $24.99. It's half off. All right. Darkest Dungeon is $17.49, down from $24.99. Brawlout is $9.99 from $19.99. And Blossom Tales, which I know a handful of people really enjoyed, is $9.99 right now. If you're trying to scratch the Zelda itch, that's one to check out. All right. And you got Worms. It's half off, which is probably a much better deal for that game. Yooka-Laylee is half off. Let me see. What else do we got? Mummy Demastered, $12.99. Do not pass on that game. It is spectacular. I saw today that Plumber said Axiom Verge is one of his favorites. It is $17.99, so you can check that one out as well. Timbleweed Park is half off at $9.99. Tumblestone is $4.04. Okay. The Troll and I is half off of $30, and it's still too much for that one, from my understanding. Thumper is $9.99, which I know there are some people that really enjoyed that one. Mr. Shifty's on sale, Snake Pass, and I Am Setsuna. So that's going to that's going to do it for the sales. Like I said, just check your Switch eShop. You can see all of them, but there are a few that I'm going to check out. And Crawler is saying that Brawlout is getting the character from Dead Cells soon, so that's pretty cool. That's going to be going down. So I think with that, we're going to wrap this thing up here. Okay, well, guys, thank you for listening. Greatly appreciate it. Thought this was going to be a mini, so I apologize that it went so long, but there's a lot to talk about. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, which is honestly, guys, between Twitter or Instagram, those are the if you want to interact with me on social media, those are the best two. I'm trying to be more active in the Facebook group that we have, and on my Facebook page, but it's just it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. But Twitter and Instagram are the best places as far as social. But I do have the Facebook page. I have Snapchat that I do update the story when new articles come out, or I just have something like a cool picture that I want to share or whatever. So Snapchat is available. Yeah, you can follow this show at NPowercast. The show notes for this episode can be found at n64josh.com/npc191. You can email the show, npc@n64josh.com. And I will have an email in the next episode. I was going to have it in this one, and I forgot. So I'll make sure it's in the next one. The free trial from Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/npc. Get a free audiobook. Pick up something great like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. Go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout. All chairs are $20 off right now and free shipping. And if you want to help support the content that I'm creating, go to patreon.com/n64josh. Let's see here. We've also got a Discord full of a lot of amazing people where we play a lot of games together. All right. So jump into the Discord by going to n64josh.com/discord. The Facebook group is n64josh.com/Facebook group. And if you could rate and review on iTunes, I would greatly appreciate that. So I do, just real quick, want to say thank you to everybody that has, listened, shared, shown up to the live stream, watched the YouTube videos, listened on iTunes, Spotify, everything. Guys, it means the world to me. So thank you so much for that. I do want to give a shout out to everybody that's here in the live stream right now. Pit, Nightcrawler, Plumber, Delmonic, Papa Lasers, anybody that's just lurking. Guys, thank you for being here. And that is going to do it for this episode. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.